All right. Hi. Welcome to our 45 slash maybe 50-minute rocket yoga class. This is our rocket fundamentals. So we'll go through the first, pretty much the first third of our rocket series. So rocket A, rocket B, and rocket C are all slight variations of the same sequence, and you'll find that this portion is found in all three of the series. So go ahead and take a few moments to sort of warm up your wrists, maybe even some, I like to call these palm ups. So coming onto hands and knees, lift the palms, keep the fingertips down, and slowly lower. Keep doing that a few different times, strengthening into the wrists and the fingers. Take as many as you like here. Maybe turn the fingertips around, tuck the toes under, allow for some stretch to come along the soles of your feet. Maybe a few rounds of cat and cow here, just kind of warming the body up. And then when it feels ready to go, tuck the toes under, maybe take a down dog just to feel the length of the back of your legs. And then step your feet to the top of the mat. Rise all the way up, hands to the sky. And exhale down through the center. Release the arms down by your sides and just give yourself a few moments of steady, calm breath here. In and out through your nose, matching the length of your inhale and your exhale. Perhaps a slight constriction in the back of your throat, cultivating your Ujjayi pranayama, creating that heat and structure to carry you through. Feel the tailbone length down, lift the ears slightly up and back, take a deep full breath in and out. Two more just like that. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and open your eyes on the last one here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, rise with the arms, look up. Exhale, fold forward, bending into the knees. Get a little lazy here, a little swaying side to side. You might even grab one of opposite elbows. Ragdoll here for just a couple of breaths. Release the fingertips to the earth. Take 3 halfway lifts here. So fingertips can come to your shins. Lengthen out through the spine. Look ahead. Exhale, soften and fold, bending into the knees. Take 2 more with your own breath. Inhale to lift. And exhale, bowing in. Take the hands to the earth, step back, lower the knees. Inhale for a very mindful cow pose or dog tilt. Exhale, tuck and round, chin to chest. Let the hips come back to the heels as you untuck your toes. 5 steady breaths here in child's pose. Let the forehead rest down. Let the arms of the bones of the arms become heavy. Feel yourself settling here, arriving to the practice. One more inhale. And exhale. Spread the fingers, lift up, shoulders toward the wrist. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Pressing into the palms, all 10 fingertips. Inhale high onto the toes, bend the knee, and step to the top of your mat. Flat back, full inhale when you lift. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, root down to rise up, fingertips high. And exhale, Samasthiti, means returning to center. Arms down by your sides, taking it in for next round, moving breath and movement at the same time. Inhale, hands up, look up. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, one, flat back. And exhale, step back, plank pose. Full breath in here. And as you exhale, glide all the way down, belly to the floor. Untuck your toes. Take the hands just outside of your mat. Elbows bend up toward the sky. Press the tops of the feet in. We'll take some rolling cobras here. Press into the fingertips. Lift to rise the heart. Feel it ripple all the way up your spine as you come down. And take a couple more. Moving at your own pace. Maybe even not coming up so high. Hands land underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Activate the muscles of your legs. Tuck the tailbone. Everything is working together. Your shoulders plugged into their sockets. Nothing left to do but to press the floor away. Press into your hands. Lift up, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Here for 5 breaths. Dig into all 10 fingertips. Press the shoulders away from the hips and the hips away from the shoulders. Look back toward your knees. Open your eyes. Big inhale. Open your mouth. Big exhale. Inhale high onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Step or flow to the top of your mat. Flat back on your full inhale. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, hands to the sky. Exhale, Samasthiti, down through the center. One more time with the breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Take this exhale all the way down to chaturanga or belly to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. At the bottom of your 5th, bend your knees. Inhale to step or float to the top of the mat, flat back. Exhale, bow it in. Inhale, rise up, hands to the sky. And exhale, Samasthiti. Feeling a little warm now. Let's move into Sun B. Sink the hips down. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fingertips to the earth, hips high. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, belly to the earth or chaturanga. Inhale, opening the heart, cobra or upward facing dog. The difference there is your hips. If your hips are floating, that's your upward facing dog. Draw the heart through. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward. Plant the foot next to or just behind the right wrist. Spin the left heel down about 45 degrees. Rise up into warrior 1. Soften the shoulders. Square the hips to the front of the mat. Feel that softness relaxing into your jaw, down the back and sides of your neck. Breathe in. And release the hands behind the back. Open through the chest. Exhale, bow here, humble warrior. Let go of the weight of your head. Trust your feet. Trust yourself. Trust your breath. And exhale, both hands to the earth. Chaturanga or belly to the earth. Inhale for your cobra or up dog. Cobra means your hips are down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping the left foot forward this time. Shift it forward, toes behind or just inside of your left wrist. Right heel plants down, rise up. Warrior one on the side. Lengthening down through the tailbone. Really try to square the hips toward the front. So you might feel like that doesn't have a ton of availability and maybe your right knee. And you can widen your stance at any time for your warrior one to give you more space, especially those of us that live in bodies that have, you know, a little bit wider hips. Take one more breath where you are. Then we'll take the hands back behind the hips, open through the chest, and exhale, bow forward. Surrendering. Left shoulder is here on the inside of your left knee. You're not so much just dumping your weight onto that front thigh. Both feet are actively pressing into the earth and lifting up through the inner thighs. And exhale, both hands to the earth, chaturanga, or belly all the way down. Inhale, opening the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Here for 5 breaths. Option to bring the knees to the earth for child's pose. Take what you need, breathe into it. Here your last breath in. Last breath out, bending your knees at the bottom of that exhale. Step hopper, float your feet to the top of the mat. Flat back when you get there. Exhale to fold it in. Inhale, rise up, chair pose, hips sink down. And exhale, hands to the heart. Stand tall, samastiti. Let's try to match that length of movement. Inhale, rise up, sink the hips down. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga or belly to the mat. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward. Stepping up, full breath in, warrior one. And slow exhale, both hands return to the earth. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Warrior one, rise up, full inhale. And exhale to take it down. Taking your flow. Rising the heart. Downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Notice what you notice here. Can you come back to the present moment by anchoring into your breath? Last inhale. Exhale, bend the knees deeply. Step hopper flow to the top of your mat. Flat back, inhale. And exhale, fold it in. Rise up, chair pose, inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Samastiti. Inhale, arms up, sink the hips down, moving into sun seat. Taking our chair pose. 3 steady breaths here. And then we're gonna take it into our half chair. Fingertips together, interlace. Press the palms forward, sink the hips back, lower the heart. Feel the shoulders pulling back and away from the ears. Option to stay here for 3 more breaths, or you can bring the hands to the earth for crow pose, tucking the knees into the back of your triceps. Floating the heart forward, lifting the toes back, wherever you are for 3 breaths. And then we will all fold fingertips to the earth, step or hop both feet back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward. Spin that back heel down, rise up, warrior one. Inhale. And exhale, settle here. Inhale, straighten your front foot. Exhale, pivot the back heel and settle the front knee back into that deep bend. Only now you're in warrior two. Soften the shoulders away from the ears, breathe here. Straighten the front leg. You're moving into Trikonasana. I like to shorten my stance a little bit, so just gonna pivot the back heel in. And take it forward. Reach, reach, reach. And then when you can't reach forward anymore, that's when you tick-tock the hands. And your hands can come all the way to the earth, that bottom hand, or you can settle it on a block. Left hand reaches up to the sky. Feel that nice long stretch along your whole left side. Squeeze the muscles of both legs. Breathe here. And exhale, round forward. Both hands spring the front foot. Lift the back heel. And step up. Little L stand here. Try to level out your hips. Hands might be on blocks. Breathe in for length. See if you can get into a flat back. And on your exhale, round. Tuck that left knee behind the right. Bending into the right knee. Inhale, press it out long. Take two more just like that with your breath. Exhale, round it in. Inhale, reach long. Last one, round it in. Inhale, reach it long. And here, keep the hips squared as you just lower the left foot to the mat, coming into pyramid pose. Lengthening out through the heart, pulling the right hip back. Option two, have your hands on a block here. I like to, especially as I know I'm about to revolve. Left hand can be on a block or the floor. Bring your right hand to your right hip and then start to stack your shoulders. Maybe you lift the gaze up. Maybe you lift the arm up. Last breath in here. And exhale, both hands down. Step the left foot to the back of the mat, coming into a low crescent lunge. Lowering the knee, untucking the toes, rise with the arms, open the heart. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Option to bring the palms together here. Maybe interlacing all but the index finger. Take a deeper bend. Last inhale. Exhale, start to release the deep back bend, hands to the heart, and take a twist. Left elbow to that right knee. Try to line the thumbs up with the heart. Roll that right shoulder away from your ear. Breathe in a little bit of softness here. Let your next exhale slowly return both hands to the earth. Stepping back, plank pose. Option here before you come into your chaturanga is to shift over to your left hand for a side plank. If you want to get a little fancy with it, pick up your right knee, maybe step it behind you for wild thing. Breathing in fully in that open chest. And exhale, make your way to your strong vinyasa. Downward facing dog. We've got our break of 10 breaths here to play with our Pincha Mayurasana. Bring your forearms down. You can hang out here, letting a release in your neck. You can walk your toes in. You can start to send one or both feet to the sky. Breathe. Whenever you're done where you are, bring your knees to the earth. 2 or 3 breaths in child's pose. Maybe reach the hands back by the feet. Breathe into the back of the heart. Open the mouth, let it go. 2 more rounds. Last exhale, let it all go. Hands reach out toward the top of your mat. Make your way to downward facing dog. Big, full breath in. Ground yourself here in this moment. No matter what comes next. No matter where you've been. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it forward. Spinning the back heel down, find that warrior one. Full inhale to rise up. Softening your shoulders to be here. Inhale, straighten your front leg. And open the feet as you settle into warrior two. Set that gaze beyond those left fingertips. Soften the shoulders here, especially on days when I find that my shoulders are carrying a lot of tension. A very subtle change that I can make is opening the palms, a little bend into the knee or the elbows, and then just turn the palms back down, allow that softness to remain. Last breath, settle in. Inhale, straighten your front knee. Shorten your stance if you like, and then start to move towards triangle pose. I'm going to use my block on this side just because this hamstring tends to overstretch sometimes. Lift up toward the heavens here. Reach for your fingertips with your heart. Full expansive breath. Exhale, both hands down, lift the back heel. Stepping up into your L stand. Hands might even still be on blocks here. Finding our 3 Kundalini dips. Exhale, tuck and round. That right knee tucks behind the left. Inhale, get long. Exhale, round. One more for length. And exhale, round. Right here, we're stepping that right foot back, planting the heel, and walking our hands or blocks back for pyramid. Hips stay nice and level. Lengthening out through the back and sides of the neck. And notice here too, whether you have your hands on blocks or not, notice if the upper back is rounded. Can you lengthen the heart toward the front edge of your mat? Feel the left hip pull back and the low belly draw in toward the spine to support all of this action happening right from your center. Still anchored in your Ujjayi breath. If you've lost it, come on back. Allow the sound to become a meditative moment for you. Sounding like the ocean, and start to prepare for your twist. Revolving your triangle here. Notice where in your body you might be carrying a little too much tension, where it's a little bit unnecessary. Where are you working too hard? Use your next exhale to slowly round the left hand down. Step the right foot back, lower the right knee. Untuck your toes. Rise up into your crescent lunge. And releasing the fingers. Keep pulling your left hip back and your right hip forward as you gently drop into the back. Full inhale. And exhale to release. Take a twist, right elbow to that left knee. Line your heart up with your thumbs. And exhale, begin to release both hands down. Stepping back to your chaturanga or belly all the way to the earth. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Now you can take the next 10 breaths again to play with your pincha. If you're working somewhere in pincha or your shoulders need a little bit more opening, here's another option you can take. So wherever you are, if you want to be with me, that's fine. If you want to go on up, feel free. So you can come onto your knees, elbows to the earth, forearms parallel. Notice if your wrists are kind of popping up, really plant them down. And from here, you can shift and tap the chin, and then rock the hips back, keeping your elbows all the way down. So this is really creating some strength around your shoulder girdle. Slowly drop the chin, triceps are working here, and pressing wrists to the elbow all the way in. As you rock it back, this is going to create some stretch. Rock it forward. And rock it back. Take one more wherever you are. We'll all begin to find our flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. Here's our whoosh back. If you remember last week. So you might shorten your stance a little bit. You're going to shift forward, bend the elbows so you can really get some spring action. Shift and then try to whoosh the hands all the way back to the feet. If they got to tap and walk along the way, that's cool too. Feet are hip distance apart. Peace fingers to your big toes. Inhale, flat back. Don't worry about how bent your knees are. Exhale, bow and fold elbows out wide. Head heavy toward the earth. Allow the breath to take center stage here. One more breath in and out. Flat back, inhale. Release the grip and slide the hands underneath the feet so that you can give a little massage to your wrists with your toes. Flat back. And as you exhale, bend the elbows again, take your fold. There's an option for challenge here. Notice if you can try to hover the heels of your feet off of the earth. Now this will take a lot of action in your mula bandha, that's your floor, your pelvic floor. Lifting up. Keep breathing. And release. Inhale, flat back. And exhale. Rise all the way up, hands to the sky. And exhale down to the center, Samastitihi. Release the hands to the earth. Drop your left ear toward your left shoulder. Feel the right hand get really heavy here. You can add the intensity if you want it here by sweeping the back of your right hand toward your left hip. Breathe in. And breathe out to release. Take it to the other side, right ear toward the right shoulder. Left hand gets so heavy. Maybe you wrap it around toward the right hip. And release on your exhale. Hands to the sky, come up onto your tippy toes. Feel the shoulders drop back and away from your ears. They don't really need to be working here. Feel that lift. Come into your low belly, high with the heels. And this is called twinkle toes. We're going to step all the way to the top of the mat. Try to get your feet as high as possible with each step. Keep the heels high. You can bend into the knees. And come on down. Let's just take a little ragdoll here. Bend into the knees, sway side to side. Feet come together, rise up, stand up onto your left foot, pick up your right knee. Option to stay right here. Option to take your peace fingers to that right big toe. Extend the heel. Notice what's happening with that right shoulder that's kind of pressing out of its socket. See if you can keep plugging it in, even if you bend into the knee some. And open the foot out. Maybe that left hand comes out to the side. Maybe you keep your left hand on your hip. All right, from here, figure four, right ankle over that left knee. Hands can stay on your hips as you hinge back. You can also bring the hands together in front of your heart if that feels more stabilizing to you. Slow breath in. Maybe you take the fingertips all the way to the earth. Exhale. Inhale, flat back. Come on out the way you came, nice and stable. Or not so stable. Hug that right knee in. And step your right foot all the way to the back. Turn all 10 toes to that long edge. Hands to your hips. Heels are a little wider than your toes so that you have square hips, square feet. Lengthen the tailbone down. We'll lift through the heart. Breathe in. Elbows back. Exhale, fold over. Bring your hands to the earth and then walk them back, keeping the elbows bent toward that long edge of your mat. You might bring the crown of the head down. You might find yourself upside down here, head to the earth. Steady breath. Controlled lower. Rising up, flat back. Hands to your hips. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Arms out to the side. This time we'll drop the hands behind the hips, open through the chest. And exhale, bow forward. You go the weight of your head. If there's any other variation with your arms that would feel good here, please feel free to take it. Release the fingertips down, bend into the right knee. This kind of Spider-Man crawl here from side to side. You can go as deep as you want. You can just keep both feet firmly rooted. You can also come into like real ninja stance. Now let's come to the front of the mat. Step the right foot in. Rise all the way up. Inhale. And exhale, hands to your hips. Shift your weight into your right foot. Pick up your left. Peace fingers to your left big toe. Stand up tall. And you might even stay here. Even as you open out that hip, you can keep the knee bent. You could also just take the hand to the knee. Wherever you want to be, wherever feels more stable. Steady movement. Take that left ankle just over your right knee. Finding your figure four. Lots of energy all the way down through that left pinky toe. Breathe fully in. And bow in. Inhale, flat back. Just the same way you came. Inhale, rise up. Hug your left knee in. And step your left foot to the back of the mat. Again, this time, we're just gonna slide on down. So we're coming towards, I'm gonna just turn to face you here. We're gonna work into our splits. So you might like your blocks nearby for this. I like my blocks right underneath my hands as I start to slide in. Because at some point, the flexibility comes, you might have less flexibility. My problem is that I have a little too much flexibility. So just be mindful of where you are, where it feels like too much, where it feels like just the right amount of sensation, and then come on to settle into that. Another option, if you're somewhere in between and you want a little bit more release, you can bring your knees down, bent at 90 degrees, out from your hips, 90 degrees, coming into frog pose. Feel the length of the back of your neck, settle in, breathe, steady. And to start coming out, come up onto your hands and press into your shoulders to lift up. Maybe stepping your feet back on the mat. And let's walk over to the right. Option to stay right here in this sort of modified pyramid, like a wide pyramid with your back heel lifted. Or you can bend into your right knee, lower the left knee, and rock the hips back and forth here, getting into your half split, low lunge. And if splits are totally your thing, this is your cue to come all the way in, maybe sliding that right heel forward, supporting yourself where you need, maybe with a block or a blanket. Breathe fully in. And breathe out to release. We're going to switch sides here. You're welcome to just walk your hands, lift the hips up, and walk it over to the other side. I know that I like a lot more love on this side. Just rocking into my low lunge and my half split. And we want to slide on it. Breathe fully. Hands to the sky. Look up toward your thumbs. Don't hold your breath. And exhale to release. To release here, we're just going to bring our bums all the way to the earth, finding your wide-legged seat. Just moving through our side bends and then coming onto our back. Right hand slides underneath your left thigh, lead up and over toward the right. You might even reach your toes, but be mindful that you're not crouching your chest down toward the shin, but rather opening up toward the sky, even if that means you don't reach your toes. And inhale, come on up. Switch sides. Inhale up. We're running out of time here, but we got to do our Mula Bandha checkups. I'm going to close my legs a little bit, just so that I can pull more strength. Framing the right thigh with my blocks. Shift forward and lift up. Slowly release. Switch sides. Lean forward and lift it up. If you get a cramp, it's okay. They come. Lower it down. Let's massage out those hip flexors. Just take like little fists with my hands. Give a little shake here and there. Wonderful. Now here we are. We'll just slide the feet around to the front of your mat. Come on down to your back. Hug your knees to your chest. Big sigh. Just let it all go. Close the eyes and consider what might be the most helpful shape for you to be in here. Before we move into Shavasana, you can take I'll guide you through a twist through both sides, but if there's something else calling to you, please feel free to go there. If you're coming into a twist, take your arms out to a T, plant your palms into the earth. Shift the hips over to your left just a few inches, hug the knees to your chest, and let them rock over to the right. So now we're stacking the hips onto the right. Allow the body to absorb this twist. Slow and steady breath in. And just a slow, steady breath out. Press into the hands to start releasing. Hug the knees to the chest. Feet to the earth. Shift the hips over. This time to the right. And come into your twist on this side. Knees up and over. Stacking the hips on the left. Big belly breath in. And release. Slowly begin to release. Both knees to your chest. Last little bit here. Hug, hug, squeeze tightly. Lift your shoulders, tuck your nose to your knees. And expand. Legs out nice and long. Arms down by your sides. Feel those shoulder blades track underneath you. And give yourself a few moments here. I know we're running just a little bit over today, but Shavasana is the most important. And I hope that you can really allow yourself to soften here, just 2 pounds heavier, your head, your shoulders, your hips, the backs of your hands, all the way down your legs and calves and heels. Let go of the thoughts of the mind. Let yourself draw further inward to that seat deep within the heart. The seat of the witness that sees all and knows all and is always well. Begin to deepen your breath. Let your thumb roll along the tips of all of your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Gently rock the head side to side and allow the wrists and ankles to begin rolling. Perhaps stretch the arms up overhead and stretch the body really, really long. Big, deep breath as you start coming back into this moment, this body. And eventually curl yourself up onto your favorite side. Pause for a moment. Give yourself just a big moment of grace and gratitude for showing up to your mat today. Whatever showed up with you, the good, the bad, and the indifferent, it is all a part of this dwelling of presence within. Press your way up into a comfortable seat and allow the eyes to stay closed if that feels nice to you. Feel yourself sitting up nice and tall, lifting up and out of your pelvis. Ears lifting away from the shoulders. Breathe in deeply through your nose. Fill all the way up and sip in just a little bit more of that good breath. And then open the mouth, big sigh, let it all go. Let the palms come together in front of your heart, honoring that light deep within ourselves and each other. We come together to practice. We are sharing this light, this wisdom, and all the fruits of our labor. Practice the gifts that it gives us of just awareness and perhaps being able to shed a little bit more light along the way. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Om Shanti. Thank you.